my name is Emily, and over the next 8 weeks, I'm going to be building this boat. Now that we have the two middle bulkheads in, I'm moving on to seats and to gunnels. According to the plans, we've got two of these long pieces of wood. We're just going to go on the outside, but we're going to get a little more fancy pants than that. We've got this rope that we're going to use as a fender because our hard dinghy right now really chews into the side of the boat when it's wavy and we're towing, or we've got the dinghy out the back. So we've taken the outboard piece and we've cut a little valley in the top corner, and that's going to hold on to this rope. We're also going to screw it in, but that's going to make a nice receptacle for that rope, so that'll go on the outside. Then on the inside we've cut a rabbet, which is precisely the thickness of the 6mm wood right here, so it's nice and flush. But on the inside it goes down a little bit, so that's a little lip there, so that kind of snaps into there. This will get sandwiched here, and those will get clamped and glued together. That'll give us a really nice looking gunnel with rope. So that's how it's going to look. We are going to have to do some treatment to the rope when we get to the part where the boat cuts in half. We're going to have to do some lashing and whipping because we can't just bring the rope straight across, so we'll have to finish it on both sides there. But this is exciting. I like this detail. This is left over from one of Clark's former dinghies, and we're going to put it in the washing machine or somehow wash it and bleach it and get it nice and shiny clean. But it's going to add a nice touch to this boat. So there's actually 3 different routing bits we're going to use. And I'm going to do the roundovers on the undersides because I'm pretty comfortable doing those by now. But the rabbeting bits and this little valley we're going to cut for the rope are a little more complicated. I'm going to let Clark do those because this is not the time to practice my router skills. Maybe I'll build a fancy birdhouse or something later, but for now I'm going to let him be the router pro and set up the routing table and get those started for me.
Be very, very quiet. He's cutting rabbits.
The challenge with this rabbet is I want it exactly 6mm in height. So we're using a scrap to set it. I have laid out all the wood that we cut for the Outwhales, or the Gunnels. It's all down here. I've decided what starboard, what port. There's a little bit of a bow to the wood, so I laid it all out so that it kind of goes with the curve of the bow. And I've color coded all the edges so I don't use the wrong router bit in the wrong area. unthickened epoxy. Make some unthickened epoxy. Coat this, because I won't be able to get at it otherwise. Coat the back of that. Coat this. Attach the doubler. Do the same for the back side. Let all that dry, and then stick them together. Make fillets and install the seats. This $1 IKEA spatula. Perfect tool. Look at that. Like frosting a cake. Which I am terrible at, by the way. But I will spatula the crud out of a foot. October 1st. We've been at this for a month and things are coming together. I've got the doublers on. I've got the forward bulkhead in. I've got a hole cut for my inspection port. I've got the middle bulkheads filleted, and I've got another coat of epoxy on the seats, on the daggerboard, and on the rudder blade. So got a lot done today. Also put in the daggerboard trunk for the daggerboard, and I think it's pretty darn square, hopefully. So now it's just a matter of letting things dry and then coming back in a little bit and continuing assembly. Stern doubler in, daggerboard trunk in, transom in, forward bulkhead in, forward doubler in. That's what we did yesterday. Today there will be some sanding. The gunnels will go on, and I'm also going to put some fiberglass inside the forward transom so that I can attach a towing hook. part of the reason I'm building this boat, and part of the reason I first sailed a little boat, our friends loaned us their little sailing dinghy, was because I can watch Temptress when we're under sail, but I really don't understand sailing to the point that I should if we're going to be going to Panama and Colombia and just doing much more blue water sailing. So this boat is a tool for me to become a better sailor, to be able to go off on my own without Clark worrying about me, and I'm going to be able to bring it up to the dock and people will say, whoa, that's a cool boat. I'm going to be able to say, yep, I made it. It's a boat I made for me that I get to travel around. This is how thick our seat is. It's supposed to tilt slightly upward so that when you sit in it, it's even. Check. Perfect. This is not like a take it to the park on the weekend and go sailing for an hour type boat. It's not going to be hauled around in a nice little pickup truck. It's quite possible that we will actually tow this behind Temptress while making a crossing with 3 6-foot seats.
It's not a mill pond sailboat.
Yes, this is not a mill pond sailboat. It's a salty sailboat. Not too salty though. Maybe just a little salty. Maybe that's what I should name it, a little salty. Or maybe peanut. Peanuts are salty.
Peanut because peanuts are salty?
Yeah. And they're little. They're cute. Kind of shaped like a little peanut. Good. Last piece. Alright, I've got my epoxy and we're going to start the Gunnels. This is day 1 of Gunnels. We're going to do the starboard side, then we'll let it dry overnight, and then we'll do the other side tomorrow. Mostly because we don't have enough clamps. When we routed this, we put a little split in it. Turns out we've got about this much extra on the end of the board, so we're actually going to cut it out of the middle and piece it together in the center where the bulkheads come together. That way we can get rid of this nasty wood. That's the plan. We're going to try it. Today is a very big day because today I'm going to cut my boat in half. I'm a little nervous, but I'm not super nervous. I know it's going to fit because I've measured it, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start by unbolting the two transoms. There's this cardboard in here, which we did not glue in, so that should be easy. There's some other cardboard pieces that'll come out as I'm sawing, but this one boat is going to become two boats. Lots of rust in this wood. Alright. Alright, I used the Sawzall to get through the gunnel here, and this is starting to split ever so slightly, so I'm just going to put some tape in here, try to keep the pieces together at least. This is where the patient is to be cut. Probably some cardboard stuck in it.
I think this went off into the bulkhead. Okay. Well, if we unbolt it, I think it might come apart.
I don't see any injuries to the sea life.
Yeah. Well, at least in my worries.
Whoa!
Did you take the bottom one out yet?
Yeah, you just cut through some cardboard here.
Over here's the bad thing.
Oh.
We'll repair it.
Yeah, that was my fault. I'm glad you did the rest of it. At least no one will see it.
Oh, it's going to be fixed really nicely. No problem.
Yeah,
There'll be a little bit of a hole here on the side that has some glass in it.
Okay.
But that's the part you want to paint white anyway.
Yep.
Take that piece of cardboard out. And pull that scratchy bolts out, and then you can put the little end in the big end. I've realized once I was doing it, I had to do it to know it. I think you had to be stronger than you are so that I was using all my strength so I could feel and imagine the blade between, and you were just pushing as hard as you could because you kind of had to. Okay. Can you do that without scratching? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, 180 degrees. Bad light here.
I'm getting the good light.
It nests.
Holiness.
Maybe the name of the boat should be Hen.
Little chickie. I'm not happy about that, but...
That'll be fixed. Also, that's the side that gets the rubber, not up that high though.
Okay.
Well, we'll put a piece of rubber up there to cover it.
Ah! Abracadabra, she is sawn in half. This is where I just stare at my boat for half an hour. Quite pleased. This means the seat could really be like this big if we wanted to.
Could be.
So how can we cut the boat in half and still have the boat float? Well, here on the larger piece of the boat, we've got T-nuts that are countersunk on the inside. And we're going to put a plywood cover over that and epoxy that, so that'll be waterproof. Then we've got copper pipe running through the entire hole, through this one and through this one. The bolts that we're using, if we just left them, the holes unfinished, it would kind of be like a hacksaw and the holes would get bigger over time. So the copper pipe is going to help protect the wood and keep it nice and well fitting. Then on this side, between the two bulkheads, there's going to be a rubber neoprene gasket that helps them rest together. And then on the other side here, we've got countersunk washers, which just look like bubbles in sea lifescape, and that will rest against the head of this bolt. So there are 6 bolts to hold it together, and we use a socket wrench to disassemble it every time. The kit comes with these cool knobs that you can just hand screw and hand tighten, but we wanted it more flush and a little more finished, and so we decided to do this complicated thing. But if you were to buy a kit, it would probably be a much easier process. So it looks like I need to finish these bulkheads, do some epoxy work here to fill in the gaps, because remember we installed this as a sandwich, and it's pretty well tacked on there, but we just need to fill in all the cracks, and that should be good. There's a little split here I'll have to fix. I'm going to wash this all really well because we started the cuts with this rusty saw, and I don't want that rust to ruin the color and the finish of my boat. So just clean up at this point, and then we'll move on to the seats. I'm gonna be sailing, like fast, like going fast. That's what I mean by sailing, not like sailing. Well, I'll be sailing, but I'll be sailing when I'm sailing. Perfect. Tickety boo.